Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus once again. Boy, God must love you. Because every time I turn around, I try to go get some sleep, the Spirit hits me and I'm making a video. I want to go somewhere, the Spirit is with me. I have to stop, use my information right there on the spot, whether it's on the phone or something else. I just constantly got to be subservient. You see, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about something that I mention a lot, but I don't think you get the focus. Let's go back to our president, your president, the president of evil here in the United States of America. Donald Trump and those people that support him, judges and lawyers and FBI agents and whistleblowers and all of the things that you hear that the Trump people use, that the people who are against Trump ever want to believe. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, all of this stuff is true. Now, the reason, and I'm going to tell you something that you might have thought of and you might not have, but the stuff that Trump is doing, he got it from his dad. His dad taught him that. His dad learned that from the system within which they lived. The Mafia, these people know what's going on. What they have recognized, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I tell you that the devil is running the world, you might not believe that. But the Mafia, these guys, the reason that they do what they do is because they know that the devil is running the world and they do not plan to sit on their butts and let the devil get away with it and control their lives. Let me say that to you one more time. These guys who are out here breaking the laws, the Mafia and others, especially rich guys, the super rich guys, they all know that the devil is running this world and they play a part in it. Not only do the Mafias know this, your street game bangers, they know this. They are just saying, we're not just going to sit around and be blind like everybody else who tries to go along with the system as if everything is okay. They're not going to do it. Here's the big problem, and I guess it might not even be a problem, it's just a reality, is that while the people who support Trump and the people who support anybody else, they're all the same, many of them don't know what they're doing is evil. They just think that they're doing something that will protect them, something that will look out for them. You know, the mob does what it does. The gangsters do what they do. And so the people for Trump do what they do. And the people for others do what they do, whether it's Miss Clinton or anybody else. Everybody got them a little point, a little mark that they can circle themselves in and say, this is my area. And they try to hold themselves up, every last one of them, as being proper and good. Because stupid folks, the people who believe them, accepts it. Now, are people who, should I say, people who don't know the truth. So, if I say that Trump says that the government is corrupt, that all of this stuff is going on, the FBI, the CIA, and all of this, he knows that everybody got their agenda. And what he can do is just stand up and proclaim it boldly. Because there are powers that are greater than Trump, that has more information than Trump, that feeds Trump, stuff that Trump believes and is not sure of, they have verified. Like, for instance, the stuff between Russia, or should I say dictatorial governments and other democracies. This stuff has been pinpointed. Now, they found a crook, bold in Trump, who's able to stand up, not afraid, know how to stroke people to get that support. Where if he put out this emergency number, it's just a number to alert them when to stand up and defend him. And these people, in their ignorance, are willing to do that. And they will take their guns and hit the streets and try to kill everybody out here that does not agree with them. Why? Because this is still hell. If they pick up their guns, the racist folks, as you want to call them, and come trying to kill you, they do so because the system that we live under is one that creates this. Now, people who say, well, I'm not going to pick up my gun, I'm not going to do that, that's just your way of responding based upon the way you've been taught. Doesn't take away from the system that you live under. It's just responding to the way you have been taught. Now, say like Trump, he fanned the flames of hatred and bigotry and racism and all that kind of stuff. He did it. He didn't just do it. It was part of a plan that has been in motion for years and years and years. Now, if Trump had come in and got the attention of the folks and used that to do godly work, to look out for everybody, well, Trump wouldn't be in office now. Trump would have been dead a long time ago, because this is hell and this kind of stuff is not allowed. This is why anybody that comes along speaking truth to power, and I am not talking about just talking. See, talk is cheap, but walking, man, it will wear your butt out. They will kill you. So out of all the people out here talking about doing right, preaching and whatever they're doing, they're just filling in a little gap, a little space in time. They're not representing truth. They might have a measure of goodness that the power of, see, God loves us all. And if God can touch me and allow me to come stand before you and share the truth, then there are others likewise. And it happens because hopefully you will learn. It is not that God is preventing you from learning. It means that you got to go through a rotation process. You got to be beat down. You got to be whipped. Sometimes you got to be killed. You got to come back and get killed again before you wake up. And sometimes you maybe never wake up. But my point that I'm trying to make today is this, is that what Trump is doing is just a reflection of the system in which we live in. Trump is a reflection of the system in which we live in. What he is doing is exposing to all America and the rest of the world that this is hell too. And the talking that people are doing, trying to put it down, is just a response for people who know they're in hell and not trying to get out. They're just trying to run their control. You see, there's only one thing that you can do that's real in hell, and that's stand up for heaven. And the only people standing up for heaven gets killed. Now, you've heard me talk about standing up for heaven. I expect to be killed. And I want to say this. When you look at people, and I see them all the time, they get old, they get ugly and sickly, and they die, maybe just to return. Why do they get old and ugly and sickly? Because they are dying all alone. They have no life. People who are born again don't live to get old and ugly and sickly. You see somebody say, wait a minute now, are you trying to say that anybody that's old and ugly can't speak the truth? No, look at me. I'm old and ugly. It took me a long time to wake up. If I had awakened a long time ago, I could have been killed a long time ago. Martin Luther King, 39, Malcolm X, 39, Medgar Evers, I don't know, Jesus Christ, 33, and people who were standing up for righteousness and goodness along with these guys, like the three boys down in Philadelphia, Mississippi. They were younger than that. The woman from Detroit, I don't know how old she was, can't even think of her name, but she's recorded in life. And people all over, wherever you stand up for truth. I'm not talking about speaking truth. I say stand up for truth. To talk about truth don't mean anything if it doesn't reach somebody. And when I mean reach somebody, I mean cause them to do something. As I've indicated, all of this commentary that you get on social media, people making jokes about Trump's evilness, that's just a part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. That's a part of the trick. These guys are being paid to do this, to keep you laughing while all of that hellishness becomes permanent in your society. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's my duty to tell you that. Now, I want you to know I am not an angel. No. In the beginning, I told you that I came out of the devil's school. Every evil that a person can commit, I have done it. Maybe not in this lifetime, but in a previous lifetime. I'm not free of none of that stuff. So don't be getting ready to look for some FBI to investigate me and say I was this and I was that. I'm not going to argue that. I was. I might not even know anything about it, but I was. I was low down, dirty, a whoremongler, a druggie, whatever you want to think of. I've been there. I've been it. So whatever they say about me, I did it. I did it. Why can I say that to you now? It's because I know. I might not have done it in these past 69 years, but some of these other years, it didn't escape me. I've been no better than any other people that you could ever bring up anywhere. I'm just as devilish and no good, no count as any of them. The only thing that makes me different than Trump, the only thing that makes me different than Hitler, the only thing that makes me different than the guy in North Korea or Vietnam or the guy in Venezuela or China or anywhere you want to find them at. The only thing that makes me different is that I know we are all brothers in that kind of stuff. One. Two, I recognize that. Another is that I know I want out. And wanting out means that I'm looking at people who need somebody to show them the way, to know that talking is not just the only way. You got to do something. You got to put those microphones down, and you got to start standing up for truth with your life on the line, that not giving a good hoop stink about what's going to happen. If you're not going to get what you're standing up for, then you expect to die because you refuse to exist in the middle of hell. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm not an angel. But if I am a spokesman and an advocate for truth and love and God, then in the middle of this, the only way I can prove it is to stand up for that which will tear that down or get me killed. So yeah, when I look at people and they're old and ugly and tired, means perhaps they did like I did, kept going around in circles. That's if they're putting their life on the line now. If they're not putting their life on the line now, they still caught up in it. But I can tell anybody that's listening to me today, anybody that's listening to me, if you stand up, I speak, for what's good and what's loving and what's kind, put your life on the line. You hear me, Christian people, all y'all going to church talk about Jesus, talking about love. If you stand up, I heard one woman say, everything is a test. And it is a test. Are you going to pass the test? Or are you going to say, well, another day, another time? Most of us say, another day, another time. Another day, another time seems like never come. But all of this is a part of what's happening. And so while I'm not an angel, but as a spokesman and an advocate for basic human rights and for truth and life and love for all of you, it's because I've been taught that. And I also learned that speaking it means nothing. Walking it does. And if I'm still alive, that means I have not done it well enough. If I'm still alive, I have not served God well enough. What do I mean? I mean, God loves you so much that my life is only good if I can show God's love for you through it, and the only way you can understand it is if I'm killed doing it. Now, does that mean I want to die? I envision a country, a nation, a world where people are happy and thrilled, and there's peace, and there's prosperity, and there's freedom, and there's joy of life. I envision that, but that's not going to happen here under these conditions. This is pure hell. All over the earth. I'm not just talking about America. It's all over the pure earth. There's nowhere that there's this heavenliness going on. And I'll admit it. I'm not trying to deceive myself or you. This is pure hell. All you beautiful people out there, wonderful, young, and healthy, you down on the wrong track. You just as far on the wrong track as you can get. And you think you got something going. You think you're promising. You think you're going on, go places that we haven't gone before. I used to be like that. Not to face facts as you going to face facts. It's bull. There's going to be something else that's required of you. You have to have your eyes open and say, this is something that you don't want to have anything to do with. And you might get to be 100 or 200 or 300 years old, or can you imagine a 300-year-old ugly person? Especially looking at a 69-year-old ugly person, or a 100-year-old ugly person. I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this crap is real. This is hell. So when they come to you and say, well, don't listen to him. He did this, he did that. Yes, I did. He did this, he did that. Yes, I did. He did this, he did that. Yes, I did. When, I might not remember, but if they said I did it, I did it. But I confessed it to the power. I confessed it to the imagination. I confessed it to God. And I'm free from it. And I cannot be bound by it. By the thread of death cannot bind me to hell. Because I tell death, kiss my butt. I'm out of here. Because I'm going to tell the truth, but not just only that. I'm going to stand up against the truth. Now, I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be really spiritually built up to stand up against this stuff, because they come at you. If you're playing games, they'll get you. They'll get you. They'll get you. Today, you see what is being taken place to try to prove that Trump and all of his people, all that bondage, all that criminal activity is got to be exposed so you can throw them out of office. Let's say that happens. You put somebody else in office. All you have done is switch devils. And devils are not going to do anything good. It only tricks you. Make you think you've done something good. It ain't done nothing good. And so what I'm saying to you, no, I'm not an angel. I just represent because I have been forgiven. Because I have been born again to this truth. Represent in words and in action. So as I go forth, look, this is not new for me. In the earlier days, in the late 70s and 80s, I was standing up against the government. I was standing up against this hell. I was standing up in jails and prisons. It was nothing for me. But somewhere down there, I had a hope. I had a hope that time, with a little time, in my advocacy, standing out here, going through the struggle, still speaking to you would make a difference. It has not made not one iota of a difference. You don't give a stink about truth. You don't give a stink about one. Only thing that you give a stink about is money. Can it get you some money so you can have a nice car, so you can go to a doctor or something when you want to, so that you can pay for your kids' education or dress yourself or be able to enjoy some measure of life that you are afforded because you sell out to God, sell out to devil from God. That's all you're thinking about. You don't know you're doing it. You don't know you're selling out to the devil, but that's in reality. That, in effect, is what is happening, because it does nothing to enlighten people. It does nothing to awaken people to the truth. And so, you go on doing your thing. God keeps on loving you and finding some other sinners who are willing to confess to God that they have been demons, and God does a miracle for them, give them another breath of life to come back and be used as an example to you dumb, dead folks, how much he loves you, in hopes that it will work for you, and at the same time make a legitimate person of love, a legitimate person of God out of the one who professes to be so, not only in words, but in deeds. Thank you.